fun part. We're going to host our first WebEx meeting. We've done all the steps up to this point, and if you haven't watched the previous videos, go ahead and watch those now. Now we're going to host our first WebEx meeting. We're going to have participants join in, and we're going to talk about the features that we can take advantage of. So I have created a calendar appointment with a demo class. I've invited a demo student, a student test here that's going to join us for this class, and I've added WebEx conferencing to this meeting. Because of that, I can now close my Chrome window here. I'm going to run the Cisco WebEx Meetings application on my machine, and that opens this app for me. And you can see that I'm logged in, I have all my info, and you can also see I've got my demo class here. That's because Cisco WebEx is tied in with my Google Calendar, so I can see any upcoming appointments that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Start to get this meeting going. And when I do that, I'm presented with a few options. I can have my microphone on or off and my webcam on or off by default when I join the meeting. I'm going to leave these off for just this session because I'm going to have multiple devices in this room and I don't want feedback going on here. But when you go to start your meeting, you're going to want to have your microphone on and your webcam on so that your students can see and hear you. So I'm going to click on the green Start Meeting button. And now this has opened the meeting up so that the participants that I've invited to join this meeting now have it available and can join the meeting. Now that I've done that, I am on another device here going to have my demo student go ahead and sign in. I'm going to, again, mute the microphone and webcam just so that that doesn't cause us any problems. I'm going to have them join the meeting. And there we go. Student test is in. If their webcam was on, you would actually see their video right here instead of this round circle with ST in here. That's student test. That's their name. And you can see that they're muted up here. Now we could have a whole number of participants in this class. I could have 25, 30 students in here, no problem. And they would just be all showing up across here with their letters or with their videos if they have the video turned on for them. So let's talk about some of the other features here. Let's start by looking at the participants. We know that student test is in here. This button here with the person on it, that's our participant list, so that shows me everything that's in here. Again, I could have a whole number of them. Because you are the host, you have control over a lot of features. If you want to mute and unmute that participant, you can just click on that red mute and unmute button. So you can mute everybody if you want to so that there's not a lot of crosstalk and cross chatter. You can also chat directly with one of the other people in the session if you want. So if you only wanted to chat with just student test, for example, to say, hey, could you focus on this lesson or this information that I really need to take a look at? Or if they've got a question, then you can question and answer back and forth with just them. It doesn't have to be with the entire class. Since this is open down here, and this chat window could be opened by clicking on the chat icon in the center, you have a drop down. You can chat with just a single person or you can chat with everybody in the room. So if you kind of let them do some independent study work for a few minutes and you just want to let them ask questions, then they can ask back and forth with you, or you can chat with the entire class, and you can just put that out there. Then there's a back and forth. So I'm going to go over here and you can see everyone is going to be able to see this chat now when you are texting back and forth with everyone. If you're chatting with just one person, the only person that's going to see that chat is just you and that other person. All right, so those are some of the basics. Let's talk about a few other things. I'm going to close these windows on the side. And the next one here, this square with the up arrow, that is to share content. So if you want to share your screen, you can do that. You can select your screen one. That is going to be everything that you do in this window on the screen will be shared with everyone that's in the meeting. If maybe you've got Hangouts installed on your machine and you have a lot of texting going back and forth, or you have some other applications open and you don't want your participants to see everything else, you only want them to see what you have in, let's say, Google Chrome, you can do that. Down below, this is everything that you have running and open on your computer. And you can see here's Google Chrome. I want to share just that. That means that if Hangouts pops up, no one else in the meeting is going to see it. All they're going to see is Google Chrome that you've shared. Now, if you're working with a number of different applications and kind of bouncing back and forth, go ahead and use screen one. They're going to need to be able to see everything. In this case, I just want to share my Google Chrome window. Now when I do that, you can see this window changes. Now I'm in Google Chrome. I can move around. I can demonstrate what I'm doing here. I can change this view over here that shows the participants. I can drag this around. I can minimize that so that's not in my way. I can also come up here to the top and you can see I still have all the same controls that I had previously, but I now have an annotate feature. So this is the ability to draw on the screen, and then you can highlight, you can change colors, you can add text, and you can erase all those kind of things that you would expect, kind of like the old smart notebook tools. That's all available to you here as part of the annotate features. Okay, now there's some other things that are up here. There's really a lot of functionality in here, and you have to decide what you want to use. Assign is if you would want to make someone else in this meeting the presenter. So if you were co-teaching with someone else and you want to be able to bounce back and forth in terms of who's presenting content, then you can make someone else the presenter, then they can share their screen. No one else in this meeting is going to be able to share their screen unless you make them the presenter and allow them to share their screen. So you really do have a lot of control here. Again, you have participants in chat. Under more, you can do some polling. So if you want to do a quick Q&A, you can throw some questions in here. You can have it multiple choice with either single or multiple answers, or you can have some short answers. This is kind of just like a quick in-class quiz. This is nothing formal. There's no way to save the answers from this. But it is nice to get a quick check of where everyone in the class is at that point. And there's a few other things in here. Really not much of it is going to apply for the things that you're going to be doing. Those are the key highlights that you're going to want to do. Now, when you're done sharing, if you want to go back to video here, up at the top you have the stop sharing button. So stop sharing is going to stop sharing your screen. You're back into the standard window down here. One other thing that I did not talk about is record. So this guy right here in the middle, this is our record button. And we can record any WebEx meeting that we have with this system. It's saved in the cloud, unlimited storage. It will save every meeting for a year, so you have access to it for a year. You can access those files. You can download or just leave them on the web and view them from the web. You can also share that link. So if you want to create some content or have a class that maybe not everyone was able to make it to, then you could share the link out and everyone else would be able to see it. If you just want to record it so that everyone has it for kind of notes for later, you can do that too and share it out. All I would ask, if you decide to record, if you have other people in this meeting that are on video especially, but on audio as well, make sure that you tell them that you're recording. That way you don't get into any issues in terms of sharing content that you've created. So that's really the essence of how to host a WebEx meeting, probably more than you ever wanted to know, but there's tons of features in here. Take it from here, play with it, do what you want and can. One last thing I should show you is this nice big red X button. That's to end or leave the meeting. If you've got co-presenters, then if you leave the meeting, they can continue to run it. But right now, we're done with the meeting, so I'm going to go ahead and end it. I want to save my meeting files if I had any. In this case, it was only chat, so you can save that to a file. And then I'm going to end, and our meeting is over. So that is how to host and go through the process of using the features of a WebEx.